Hi guys, my name is Justin. This is the Kentucky Fisherman YouTube channel. Thanks for joining me. This episode I'm just going to talk about basics of fishing, rods, reels, a little bit about lines. I won't go too much into detail about fishing knots, just a little bit, and I'll also talk about hooks, baits, and lures. Thanks for joining me again, and I hope you appreciate the show. The main types of rods and reels I use are casting rods and spinning rods, and I use bait caster reels for mainly crankbaits. I use spinning reels for pretty much about everything, and then spin cast for the ease of the method. These are a lot less versatile than the other two, but they're also, like I said, a whole lot easier to deal with. I don't have preference on fishing line, although I use a lot of braids. I think braids are stronger, but I have no preference on which ones you use. This one I've got outfitted with a braid, and then this one obviously is with a monofilament. You can see the difference in the texture and the coloration. And spin cast is almost always done with monofilament. Now, there are any variety of tools you can use. The main three that I go with are a good pocket knife. You can't go wrong with one. I got this one from a really good friend several years ago. A pair of needle nose pliers, pull hooks out, stuff like that, and cut monofilament lines. And a good pair of line scissors. You can get these at Walmart. I use these to cut braid or monofilament if I don't have my needle nose out. All three work really well, and that's a pretty good basis of tools to have. Now, something you can use, I use organic baits like these, the worms and the shrimp, and also I use crankbaits similar to this. They both work fairly well for whatever you're targeting. I usually go for bass, catfish, and bluegill, unless I get a notion to go after carp, and then I use completely different bait altogether. Now, these are the three types of lures that I like to use primarily. This is just a little rubber crank, resembles a bluegill. It's a perfect target for bass. This is a really good target for bass as well. It's a spinner. When you reel it in, these two leaves here, they spin, and it creates a lot of flashing, and it attracts large predatory fish. And of course, a topwater frog, when you bring it in, it resembles a frog on top of the water, and predatory fish like to jump at it and try to get it. Now, I will say this: not every fishing trip is going to be successful. Sometimes you're going to have trips where you just get skunked, but don't let that discourage you, because every fisherman that ever touched a rod and reel has been skunked before. Someone may not like to admit it, but it happens. Don't let it discourage you, because you'll learn new tricks, you'll learn new habits, you'll pick up all kinds of neat little information, and hopefully I can provide you some of that information to where you will catch more and more fish, and those times that you do get skunked are few and far between. I'm just using a red worm and a bobber, guys. Sometimes you can't go wrong with something basic, and a red worm and a float is about as basic as you can get. Oh, got one. There we are. He's a little guy. Uh-oh, he's gut hooked. Well, typically with gut hook, oh, nope, he's not too bad. We can get him out. So, we did get one. So not a complete bust. I'm not going to show getting the hook out, but I'm going to use a pair of needle nose pliers. I'm going to try to pry it out. So, got ourselves a nice little bluegill here. Let's let him go. Bye, buddy. Well, guys, that's it for today. Thanks for joining me. I'm sorry I didn't get more fish, but we will next time. I had fun making this video, but the next episode will be out as soon as it can. And I will see you guys then. Thanks again. Fish on, Kentucky.